Welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help educate you about narcissistic abuse because your feelings do matter. Hi, and welcome to another podcast of Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.O. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday, June the 7th of 2023. I pray that you've had a blessed, stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I would like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on our website, you'll find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships, and if you have missed any of these podcasts, all you have to do is go directly to our website and listen to us from there. Now, just to let you know, we are on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central, and that is on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, Castbox, and Deezer. We're also on Amazon Audible, Rumble, Brighteon, and the Tube. That's right, we're on YouTube. So you have a variety of different platforms that you can listen to us from. And if all else fails, all you have to do is go directly to our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. All right, what are we talking about today? We're talking about qualities, traits that make a good spouse. Traits that make a good spouse. And today we're going to be getting our information from www.marriage.com, www.marriage.com. And I just want to give you a heads up. If you see you like, she doesn't sound like herself, well, let me just tell you what happened. I was doing some housework over the weekend, and I must have pulled something in my shoulder blade, my right shoulder blade, because I have been in pain the last few days. And so any sudden movements, I really, it's not like it's really getting better, maybe a little bit, but not much. So I'm hoping that it just, will, whatever I pulled will just go ahead and go away on its own. But if not, I already have an appointment scheduled this month for the doctor. So anyway, please just keep me in your prayers because I have not been feeling my best. All right. Okay, so we're talking about traits of a good spouse. So many people are waiting to meet that right person, that right one, that person that they can share their life with. Or you might be dating someone thinking, okay, maybe this is the one. Or you might have, unfortunately, found out that the one you're with is not the one or whatever. So we're talking about traits of a good spouse, and so many people have missed the mark when it came to getting it. That's why we have 50% of all marriages that ends in divorce. And if you have not said I do, then guess what? You can be proactive in making sure that you do not get into the wrong marriage where you're dealing with a narcissistic spouse, an abusive spouse, someone who is not looking out for your best interest or have your interests at heart. So we want to make sure that we ourselves are good spouses to the person that God would have for us, and that person that you are believing or want to be your spouse, that person is the right one for you. So as an evangelist, the first thing I'm going to say is to pray. to pray and ask the Lord to give you that right spouse. The Bible says that he that finds a wife findeth a good thing. That's right. He that finds a wife finds a good thing, has favor with the Lord. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. It also says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands. So there's a mutual and equal respect, love, consideration, caring, things that are supposed to be on both ends, on both parties. Men are supposed to be loving towards their wives, and wives, you're to be loving towards your husbands. The Bible also says it's better to sit on the roof of a house than to be around a nagging wife. So that means that women, you need to guard yourselves as well. Okay, so we're gonna talk about good traits that make a good spouse, what you should be looking for. Many want that unwavering love, that shared interest, that respect, compassion, and the ability to be able to find happiness in that other individual. So one of the main things that makes a good spouse, whether you male or female, let me just say this: communication. You need someone who is able, who knows how to express their feelings, their needs, their desires, their goals, their dreams, their visions. You all should be best friends. So you need someone that you can share those things with, not someone that's going to be narcissistic and is all about them, someone that, is your competitor, that always try to compete with you. That is not what a relationship that's going to last should have. It should be good communication without always being upset or angry. And if there is an issue, where you all can talk about it on a mature level. Okay, so intimacy does not begin in the bedroom. It begins with your emotional level, your ability to communicate, to talk to that person. And if you're the one that always flares up and your anger is always at a high, then something is wrong. And so therefore you need to talk to someone about that. So communication, a lot of relationships end because there's a lack of communication. Number 2, that person view you as a partner, not someone that they can walk over, not someone that's up under their foot, but as an equal partner. That means that when I am in the relationship with someone, that it's not about it's not about just me, it's about we. It's about us doing things together, sharing our lives together, sharing our visions, our dreams, uniting together. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? Amos 3:3. Therefore, you want to know that that person is going to be your partner. Eve was made as a helpmeet to Adam, not to be abused, misused, manipulated, devalued, or any of those things, but a helpmate, a helpmate to him. And he was to be a helpmate to her. God made Adam first, and then he made Eve. So you want a person who's going to be equally united with you, not competing against you, not jealous of you, not envious of you, wanting someone that's going to be your cheerleader, someone where you all can both work together as equals. Number 3, a desire to be with you. If you're dating someone that is marriage material, they're going to make it clear that you are the one that they want to be with. It's not going to be, well, I don't know, I'm in limbo, they don't know what they want, you don't know what you want, or you know what you want but they don't know what they want, vice versa. It's going to be a clear indication, or verbally should I say communicated, because this needs to be communicated, that you are the one. That means that when you all decide that, hey, you're going to be monogamous, this is we're dating to get to the marriage, I'm in this marriage because I want to be with you and you alone. Now, if you're dating someone that's spreading their sprouts and their roots all across the place, then they're community property, okay? They don't belong to you. They belong to the community. And you do not want to be with someone who is community property. That means that there is a song called Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his head was his home. Well, that's community property, okay? This is not community property. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Whomever I would date, I'm not planning on being a shared anything with anyone. If I'm the wife, I am the only wife. And if I'm dating you, then hey, I'm gonna ask you, what are your intentions? You need to find out. See, some of y'all don't know. You need to ask those hard questions. Okay, it shouldn't be hard if that person is into you, a desire to be with you. So find out, where do you stand? Where does that person stand with you? Don't just put it in their court. Where do they stand with you? There needs to be a mutual agreement as to where you both stand. It should not be, well, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm dating you because I'm praying that you are the partner, and we're wanting both to eventually get married. We're looking for that spouse, that one, and so I'm not spreading my roots in the south, in the north, in the east, and the west. Okay, so if somebody you're dating is wanting to spread their love with everybody, then guess what? That person is not for you. I'm going to say this. If they're cheating on you, they're unfaithful to you, they're unloyal to you before you say I do, then guess what? You're going to have that Papa Rolling Stone after you say I do. Do not believe that just because you get married that that person's automatically going to be Mr. or Miss Monogamous. If they're doing things while you're in the dating process, and you all have said that you're going to be exclusive to one another while you're dating, but then you find out that that person is not exclusive, all right, they're inclusive, which means that they're being with everybody, then guess what? That's your sign right there to run for the hills. Okay? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, look to the hills from which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. That means go to the Lord, to run away from that person. Go run to the Lord and allow the Lord to send you the right one. Come on now. Number 4. Are they trustworthy? Are they trustworthy? That is a good quality in a spouse, is are they trustworthy? This means that can you share things with them without them telling everybody, okay? Can you talk to them? Are they a person of their word? If they say they're going to do something, do they do it? Or do they at least explain to you, this is what happened, I had every intention, this person is trustworthy. All right, you can be vulnerable with them because they're not going to misuse it, abuse it, or neglect the relationship. Do you feel safe with this person to know that they have your best interests at heart? Can you talk to them? All right, do you have good communication skills? Or do this person always flare up let me just say this. If you're dating someone that's verbally combative, then guess what? You're going into a matrimony of HE double, what they call it, double L hockey sticks, or whatever they want to call it. Okay, basically, when you are dating someone that's verbally combative, you can look to having a verbally, emotionally abusive marriage. So if that person is flaring up about everything before you say I do, guess what? They're going to do that even after. Don't think that you going down the aisle with all those issues that have not been resolved is going to automatically be resolved just because you say I do. If anything, it's going to magnify. It's going to get worse. Number 5. One of the qualities of a good person is that they will talk about the future with you in it. Come on now. They're going to talk about the future with you in it. Now, if they're making plans and they ain't said nothing about you being in it, then guess what? Ooh, boy. You need to find out where you stand, okay? Where do you stand? Where does that person stand with you? Is there a future, okay? You might be making all these wedding plans and this person is not thinking about marrying you. They're not thinking about settling down with you, or they're dangling you along, making you think that you got a future together, but you're just something to pass away their halftime until they feel that they got something better. Know where you stand. Number 6, they make you laugh. That is something that I love in an individual, is to make me laugh. All right, I love humor, okay? As you can tell, I love humor. And so there's going to be times when you might be stressed out, there might be a disagreement or something that's going to be thrown your way. That's life, okay? No relationship is perfect, but at the same time, you need to have something in that relationship that's going to sometimes make you laugh with each other. All right. They say those who know how to laugh together are more than likely to stay together. So make sure that you have someone that has a sense of humor, that can laugh at the little things in life. Okay, you all see some and you just bust out laughing. All right. That is something that is good. Laughter is good for the soul. And I know for me, I love someone who can laugh, all right, who makes me laugh. That is a quality, a trait that I love in an individual. Number 7, you share core values. What are you doing together if you don't have any common values, if you don't have any common beliefs? Now, there's that saying that opposites attract. However, there needs to be a balance. Okay, you all might not do everything the same. That's great. You all might he might like blue, you might like red. That's fine. They complement each other, okay? But you need to have some qualities of some shared values. And what I'm talking about is first of all, if you're dating someone, what's your belief system? And spiritually, what do you believe spiritually? If you believe in God and you're sold out for Jesus, but then the other person is an atheist, that is not going to work. All right. How do you believe in children? Do you want children? How are you gonna raise your children? What schools they're gonna go to? Your families. How much do you want the family involved? How are you gonna do when the holidays come? Are you gonna go to his family? Are you gonna go there? Is he gonna go to your family? Are you gonna alternate? What you do with your older parents as they get older? Do you believe in bringing them into your home and taking care of them? There's so many things that you all need to talk about. Do you believe in does he want to be the breadwinner? Are you both going to be the breadwinner? How are you going to do your balancing of your checkbooks? Are you going to have separate accounts, joint accounts? There's so many things. What are your values? What do you believe in? What is it that whether it's your faith, whether it's relationship wise, what is it that, what are your core values? I know mine is you have to be not only a believer but have a relationship with God. That is one thing that is a must, and I have to have someone that shares that core value with me. All right. So Jesus in my relationship has to be the center. You have to have your own personal relationship with him. I need to know you have a relationship with him before you even have one with me. So therefore, what is your relationship with God? All right. That's my value. What are your shared values? Number 8. That person makes your relationship a priority. Now, for me, the order of things is God is the hierarchy, okay? And then once I would become the wife, then I'm next, all right? Do that person make your relationship a priority, or you always in the back burner? Is it always them going to play with their buddies, or they got something else going on, but you're in the background? Now, let me just say this. For those of us who are in ministry, we have that understanding that God is first, okay? God is first, but then your first ministry is to your family, all right? So you minister to your family, and then, but God is still the head. God is still first, and then your family, your ministry to your family, and then the church as well. Now, that's a common value, a shared value that me and my spouse would have to have. They have to make you a priority. If you're always last, you're never top priority with them, then that's not going to make for a good relationship. If he would rather spend time with his friends, his buddies and all that before you, or she wants to hang out with her girlfriends and stuff before you, then something is wrong. Number 9, knowing how to resolve conflict. A good trait of someone is willing to resolve a conflict. Conflicts are going to arise. It happens. It happens with the best of relationships. There might be a disagreement, but knowing how to resolve. And yes, there has to be compromise. All right? There has to be compromise. No one is always right. No one is always wrong. You have to be willing to hear the other person. Now, I have often said on this podcast, if you are doing your Perry Mason debate, your what was it, Matlock? Back in the day it was Matlock, and or you got Law and Order in your head. Okay, so if you're doing your debate in your head while this person is talking, that means you're not actually hearing the individual. Communication takes one person hearing, another responding, one person responding, another hearing. You both can't talk at the same time. You both can't hear at the same time if no one is communicating. So therefore, you have to learn to be able to communicate, and part of communication is also being able to have being able to resolve conflict, not with your fists, not abusing your words, okay, not being manipulative, but actually taking the time to understand each other, not attacking one another in an argument. Remember that you all are a team, not trying to hit below the belt, something that you know will hurt the other individual. Knowing that you all are a team and working things out together. Number 10. One of the qualities of good spouses is being able to teach or learn new things. Teach or learn new things. I love to learn from other people. So I would love to, that day when God gives me that person, I would love to learn new things from that individual that I don't know. And hopefully they can learn things from me. Be what they call it, be the yin to the yang or whatever. I don't know what that means, but you know what I'm saying. The yin to the yang. I've heard that expression used. So that balance, okay, I learn from you, you learn from me, we learn from one another. No one person knows it all. I'm always happy to learn something new. All right, just don't give me no math equations. I could care less about the math equations. Okay, but always being able to learn from one another. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
When I found you, I found somebody who cares. When I found you, silent prayer. When I found you, I found what every heart dreams of. When I found you, I found love. When I found you, I found the rest of my life. When I found you, I told all others goodbye. When I found you, I saw my fears fly away like a dove. When I found you, I found love. I know true love sounds crazy, but worth waiting for. You are the one, my only, forevermore. When I found you, I found my fate in your arms. When I found you, I found no cause for alarm. When I found you, I knew this love was a gift from above. When I found you, I found love, yeah, yeah. I know true love sounds crazy, but worth waiting for. You are the one, my only, forevermore. When I found you, I found a sky with style. When I found you, found one more reason to smile. When I found you, I knew I finally found enough. When I found you, I found love. Yeah, I did. When I found you, I found love. When I found you, I found love. I found love.
I Found You, and that is by BB Winan. All right. So we're talking about traits that a good spouse would have. And I pray that if you have not gotten married, I pray that you will pay attention to this podcast, take notes, be mindful of it, because it's better to be, again, proactive than reactive. And so many people are in miserable marriages, they're in miserable relationships. And if you know that you're seeing a bunch of red flags before you say I do, then the time to put a halt to it is now. Number 11, a good spouse will respect the other one. A good spouse will respect. So that husband will respect his wife. That wife will respect her husband. This means that you will not cross boundaries that you know are uncomfortable with that other person. You will not do things that will purposely try to hurt that individual. You will not make decisions alone, solo, that is not that will compromise the relationship. You will not cheat on that other individual. You will not lie to that person. You will uphold the integrity of that person and that relationship. So respect is important. It's there's a saying that a lot of couples should hold, is that I'm agreeing with you in public, and then in private, then that's when we disagree. I got your back in public, and then in private, if there's an issue, then that we discuss it in private. Respect that person. I have seen so many spouses that disrespect the other one. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you should disrespect your husband. Just because you're a man doesn't mean that you disrespect your wife. You are to uphold and uplift that individual. Don't talk to your spouse any kind of way. Women can be verbally combative. They're mostly verbally combative, where men a lot of times are physically combative. Let me just say this, is that each person in that relationship deserves the utmost respect. Don't disrespect someone. Treat them with dignity. Treat them with respect. Love them. You can't say that you love someone if you don't respect them. Don't just be, and even after you get married, don't, especially women, don't talk to your husband any kind of way. Men, don't treat your wife any kind of way. Don't take each other for granted. Don't take advantage of one another. Number 12. One of the traits that's in a good spouse is loyalty. You have to have that loyalty. If you're not loyal to that individual, if you're not committed to that person, if that person, again, cannot feel safe and secure with you, then there is something indeed wrong with the relationship. There needs to be a sense of loyalty, admiration, and respect. Number 13, emotional maturity. Now, sometimes there's times you're going to be laughing, you can do silly things together, that's fine. But you want that person that can manage their emotions. Again, they're not acting like a 2-year-old in an adult body. We often talk about narcissists acting that way, acting like 2-year-olds in an adult body. So do they have control of their emotions? That's emotional maturity. They know when to be assertive or when to refrain from speaking. They're able to keep their cool. They're able to be level-headed. They're not flying off with any and every little thing. Another sign of emotional maturity is they know when to apologize. They know or do not have a problem saying I'm sorry or I'm wrong or let's try to fix this. They're able to take constructive criticism. Okay, so this is a sign of emotional maturity. Another thing is they take the proper steps to fix the relationship, to fix maybe what's broken, to analyze things, to see where you all need to work, what things you need to work on to come together for us having a meeting of the minds. And sometimes that includes being able to go to a counselor. If you two need help, the emotional maturity will say, you know what? Let's go to that counseling that we need to better this relationship, to help us to get off on the right foot. Number 14. One of the important traits that a person must have in a relationship is being able to forgive. There are going to be times when you might say something, do something that offends the other person. I'm not talking about going out and again being a rolling stone with everybody. Then oh forgive me, but then you cheating and all that kind of. I'm not talking about that. Okay, I'm gonna free you. I'm gonna forgive you, but I'm gonna free you to go and do what you want to do apart from me. Okay, okay, I'm telling you that now. But the thing is that one of the good qualities of a spouse or that person that you are wanting to marry is being able to forgive. And when I say forgiveness, it doesn't mean holding grudges. It doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to put it in the vault and use it later, as we talk about narcissists do, okay? It means that when I forgive you, I'm not throwing it up every time there's an argument. I'm putting the past behind me and I'm moving forward in the new. That means that when you say I forgive you, that means you put it to rest. You bury it. You don't keep bringing it back up. Being able to forgive. And this, again, the wife, the husband, the person you're dating, if you got to practice that even leading up to the marriage. Are you able to forgive? There's going to be times you're going to get frustrated. There's times that every day is not going to be a holiday, okay? And you're going to have to learn to forgive. It doesn't make the person a bad person just because there's something that might take place or transpire that you're going to have to forgive them for, because we all are flawed. We all make mistakes. Now, there are some things that you don't have to compromise on. I'm talking about cheating and physical abuse and all those things. I'm not saying accept those things, okay? Because you have some people that need to walk out of that relationship and not look back, not once, not twice, or you would turn into a pillar of salt like Lot's wife did. What I'm saying is learning to forgive and being able to move forward, especially when you know that you have a healthy relationship with that individual. Number 15, they are compassionate. The trait of a good spouse is they're compassionate, they're understanding, they're empathetic, okay? They put themselves in your shoes to try to at least try to understand how you feel. They make you feel loved, they make you feel wanted, they make you feel desired, they make you feel needed. They don't try to make you jealous and try to triangulate you where you're competing with another individual. They show compassion. This is important in a relationship. We're going to take another quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
For you I'd give a lifetime of stability, anything you want of me. Nothing is impossible for you. There are no words or ways to show my love, or all the thoughts I'm thinking of. 'Cause this life is no good alone. Since we've become one, I made a change, and everything I do now makes sense. All roads end, all I do is for you. For you I share the cup of love that overflows, and anyone who knows us knows that I would change all thoughts I have for you. There is no low or high or in between of my heart that you haven't seen. 'Cause I share all I have and am. Nothing I've said is hard to understand. All I feel deeper still, and always will. All this love is for you. Every note that I play, every word I might say, every every page that I write, every day of my life would not be filled without the things that my love for you now brings. For you, I make a promise of fidelity, now and for eternity. No one could replace this vow for you. I take your hand and heart and everything and add to them a wedding ring. 'Cause this life is no good alone. Since we've become one, you're all I know. If this feeling should leave, I die. And here's why. All I am is for you. Everything I do now makes sense. All roads end, all I do is for you. Only for you.
For You, and that is by Kenny Lattimore. All right, so we're talking about the traits of a good spouse. And number 16, they know how to maintain self-control. Self-control. And it's so important that when you are with someone, whether it's you or the other person, that you have control over yourself. Consider things before making decisions. Avoid things that's going to be harmful in the relationship, such as pornography, cheating, lying, giving your affection to someone else, whether it's emotionally and or physically. Don't put yourself in situations that will open the doors to things. I mean, how many times people, or should I say, how many times have people put themselves in a situation knowing that they were flirting with danger? All right, so do not, and let me just say this, if you are the type that flirt with other people, you don't have no business getting married. Let me just say this: if you're supposed to be in a committed relationship, but then you flirting with everything, or you got wandering eyes or whatever, pay attention to this. If that other person has wandering eyes, and every time somebody that catches their eye, they're always looking at that person, or they're flirtatious, don't, because the thing is that person should respect you enough. And if they're saying that they love you or in this committed relationship with you, then they should not do things that will open up the doors to demons coming into that relationship. All right. Whether it's pornography, rather it's what they call just honest flirtation. No, if you're in a committed relationship, supposed to be, there is no such thing as harmless flirtation. All right, because that leads to other things. You're talking about, I had an emotional affair, as as one of these pastors said one time. Oh, he had an emotional affair, which there was enough alleged evidence to say that was a lie. But the thing is that you do not want to open the door to things. Even as evangelists and pastors and things, I make it a habit where I do not counsel men one-on-one alone. All right. I do women, couples, families, but I would not counsel a man one-on-one alone. These are things that I believe in, and there's ways that you are to operate, even if you're not in ministry, such as I am. But even if you are just a person that's married, men, you shouldn't be going to women houses alone. Now, unless you're a plumber or somebody and you're paid, you're on the clock. Okay, I'm talking about on the clock where you're fixing someone's house. Do not do that. Do not put yourself in a situation. Women, do not accept gifts from men that are not your spouses. All right. Unless it's your brother or your father or something like that. Do not put yourself in a situation such as that. So maintain self-control, and self-control means watching what you do. Number 17. One of the traits that's so good in a good relationship and a good spouse is you are their best friend. They're your best friend. When you're a best friend, you all are looking out for one another. I got your back. You got my back, though. Hey, you better not say nothing about that person, okay? I'm coming in swinging, okay? Okay, so you got each other's back. They can talk to you about anything. You can talk to them about anything. They will never use it to hurt you. And one thing that is so important is even if you're dating someone and that person gives you something that's in confidence, to keep that confidence even if the relationship itself doesn't work. So you're that person's best friend. That person should be able to talk to you, come to you for support, encouragement, love, share their vulnerabilities, their secrets, things that they wouldn't even tell someone else, and they can be able to come and talk to you about it, and it stays with you. You gotta watch who you talk to. Come on now. You gotta watch who you talk to, because some people don't have your best interests at heart. Some people you tell things to, and they go tell the whole wide world, the community. You got to know who you can and who you can't talk to. Number 18, they have patience. They have patience. The Bible says that, lets us know that patience is a virtue, okay? It's good to have patience. If this person is always angry, upset, going bonkers over every little thing that goes wrong, then that's not, you need to have patience with that person, and that person needs to have patience with you. The Bible calls it also long suffering, okay? Long suffering. And so you want to be able to just not always in an uproar or uptight about things, but take time. Be patient with that individual. Number 19. Your friends, your family loves them, okay? This is something that's a good trait. How many of you have someone and you want your friends to like them? You want your friends and your family to like and love them. And so if they get along with your friends, if they get along with your family, then that's good. I tell women often, and this goes for men too, see how they treat their friends, see how they treat their family. If they are abusive to their family, and I say this to women, watch how the men, how they talk about their mothers or their sisters or the women in their lives, or even their exes. Now, I'm not saying if they tell you, well, my ex did this or that, or whatever the case may be, but I actually listen to how they go about talking about them. If this person is a B and all that kind of stuff, then that really turns me totally off. That turns me off. That person may have indeed did what you're saying they've done, but it lets me know some things. How you talk about them means also that there may be still some resentment there. Okay, there may be some unresolved issues. There may be some anger, some bitterness if you're still holding those things, then that means that you got some weights that you need to let go of. So pay attention to how they talk about the women, or if you're a woman, how they talk about the women, how they treat the women in their lives, or they stingy. Come on now, you have some men that's stingy. Are they a stingy individual, or do they not mind sharing? I ain't talking about men. Be careful of the gold diggers, okay? We ain't talking about no gold diggers in here, because you got some women that's some gold diggers, and the only thing they're going after is the almighty, not so mighty dollar these days. So so be careful of that too. You want someone that's going to love you for you and not what you can give to them. Now, I'm not saying don't go for somebody who got some things going on, okay? If you a bum and you ain't working and you playing video games all day and you don't have no motivation to do anything, come on now. We ain't talking about that kind of mess going on, all right? And I probably need to talk about that on another podcast by itself, because you got some that ain't take my money when I'm in need. Hey, she's a trifling friend indeed. Yeah, she's a gold digger. All right. So we ain't talking about none of that, but you do want someone that's that's motivated to do things in life, okay? So again, you want your friends to love them, your family to love them. You need to see how they interact with their friends, with how they interact with their family, how they are with other people, because that's a sure sign. With how they treat others is often an indication of how they're going to treat you, especially their mothers. Last but not least, number 20. They show appreciation. That is a good trait in a spouse, in a potential spouse, is they show appreciation. They're thankful for the things in life. They're thankful to God, the things that God has done for them. They're thankful just for other things in life. So they show appreciation. And when they are appreciative, they express their gratitude. They will tell you thank you. They don't take you for granted. They will appreciate the things that you do for them. They won't take it and just disregard it. They will show appreciation for who they have, who you are, the things you do, and love you for being in their life. It's funny that some people, I'm in one of these groups online where I see people that are some of them, they complain about their spouses being around them too much, and then you have others that complain about not having a spouse. And let me just say this: if you have a spouse and you have a good one, value that, because not everyone has that. If you have love in your life, don't take it for granted, because remember, somebody wished they had that. And so love the person that you're with. If you know you have someone that is good to you, then by all means, please be good to them. Now, if you're with a Rolling Stone, Papa was a Rolling Stone, dun, dun, wherever he laid his head was his home, and when he died he was alone. All right. You don't want none of them. All right. You don't want none of them. All right. I'm saying want. You don't want none of them. The correct word is want, but you know what I'm saying. All right. But I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you, and that you will know your feelings, they do matter. This is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse. Until next time.